Hey, Chris here. Thanks for joining me on this chassis video for the Foose truck. And as you can see in front of your very eyes, this is all that's left to paint, which is not a great deal really. Looking at this side, first up you've got, let me give it a little pointer, wherever it's gone. So obviously first up you've got your suspension. It's not very nice and easy just to paint that up. Roll bar, anti-roll bars I think. Your rear diff, subframe. I'm going to get these snipped off, glued together, and obviously get a lot of these snipped off and just tied it up like this with a bit of just here, get sanded smooth. Steering rack, anti-roll bar there, look, the chassis frame. As I say, when I'm a little bit tidying up, but it's not a great deal. It's not like it's got loads of flash. It's just little bits like this, like the from where there was the moulding process, just like held in or whatever it is. And you've got the sprue part with all the detailed bits. You've got your manifolds and your pipes and your covers, rocker covers and sumps. You've got your fan, radiator, you've got your exhausts. You've got the discs, which are really nice discs actually. Just, you can see just a little tiny bit of cleaning up, nothing too drastic. You've got your pulleys and belts, engine and gearbox. So yeah, there's quite a few parts, but I'm going to keep it pretty simple. Yes, there is quite a lot of detail to paint up, but I just want to keep it simple to like 3 colours as such. So I've got a black primer, which it's all going to get the black primer obviously, but then some bits they'll be left in black primer. For example, any like radiator pipes, things like that. Maybe some of the subframes, maybe we'll see. And then I'm going to go for a combination with the colours. Now, excuse that they've been sat for quite a while, and they've settled a little bit, but once I've had a bit of a mix up, they'll be absolutely fine. But I'm going to go with a combination of bright aluminium and some gold metallic, and then just keep it simple with the 2 colours. Sometimes less is more, and I think with a lot of it being silver with some gold highlights, let's maybe have a look. Maybe if we're thinking, this subframe, maybe if I do the subframe silver, but then maybe if I paint the arms gold, maybe, maybe the frame, we'll have that in silver and just pick a few detail bits out, like the suspension arms there in gold again maybe. And then, you've got your covers, your carb, and then, yeah, we'll just try and keep it simple, but, effective, and just, yeah. And to be honest, I'm in a little bit of a rush. I've got a week before I need to get this finished, so time is of the essence. So let's make a move. Right then, a little update on the chassis parts that I've painted up. We'll start with the chassis. It was just an aluminium with a trusty pointer with these bits here. I've just brushed on some of this. That's all. That it's water based. For those that don't know, these are your Warhammer paints, water based acrylics. You mix it with a little bit of water, and if you don't like it, you can just scrape it off, wash it off, whatever. It's really good paint actually. This wasn't thinned; it was just straight from the bottle, brushed on, and they're dry with a decent finish. So yeah, that's that. Frame in aluminium. Some bits, like the sump cover, where it's got like the bolt heads, dropped a bit of panel wash, like this cover there as well, a bit of panel wash around the bolt heads. So some of these bits was aluminium, some of these bits were super stainless. These were metallic grey. And I did drop some panel line wash in between all the pipes just to give them a bit of definition. That was super stainless again. Did these rocker covers, put them in a gloss black. The springs, they were aluminium. I went over the spring with a gold marker. This actually snapped on me. If you can see, I don't know, I can't even tell now. Yeah, it's on this side. Cement it back together before painting, so that was alright. Then you got the drive shaft. I think that was stainless. I think. You got the steering rack. Again, the gold bits was just with the gold marker. Like this unit here. Did a bit of panel line wash around the edges and stuff, just to try and give it a bit of definition. And you got the pulley cover. Brushed on some flat aluminium, and then just dabbed the bolt heads with the gold marker again. The carb. Again, just a bit of panel wash around the edging to give it some definition. And then the green. So I was umming and ahhing about the interior because the dash was really, really bright. Now what I did do with the dash after the last video, I just couldn't get around how bright the dash was compared to the body. So I brushed on a few coats of panel line wash. So yeah, it's left it a bit patchy, but it's really brought that colour brightness right down. And to tie that in, I've used the Mr. Colour clear green again. So this was painted in aluminium. I've done a couple of coats of clear green. So that's gonna, a bit of tying in. I know this is like, I know that's dull now, but yeah, forget that. You got the intake filter, again, a couple of coats. Just need to do some black around the edging. And then the discs. So did the discs, stainless, super stainless disc rotors, gold marker around the hub, and then clear green for the calipers. So that's now the accents all tied in, so there's not much, but there's enough to see it, if you know what I mean. So all I need to do now is I've actually got, not many, just a couple, but like this one here, that'll go on to that filter there, and you've just got your few, Roush and Foose, just a few bits and bobs that's going to be dotted about on some of these parts. Now, when I was doing these decals and whatever else, I did do the flatbed decal. Unfortunately, I had quite a bad reaction. I don't know how well you can see it, but did the process as normal. Hot water, decal in, left it for a little while, took it out, used micro set, applied it all. It was really soft, really brittle, really fragile, and it just kept splitting in places. And then when I did the micro sol, once it had dried, it just ripped so much. Like there's little dark patches. So these dark patches, that's where I've had to touch it up with some paint. It's not too noticeable unless you get it in a certain light. Does it kind of work? I don't know, but I'd rather it be a brown and brown instead of black on brown. The black on brown really did stand out, but yeah, that's that. And then the rear diff, Again, same with this, around the bolt heads and stuff. Just drop some panel wash, just to give that a bit of definition. And then the radiator, intercooler radiator thing. Yeah, radiator. So this was painted in aluminium, but I can't be bothered to mask off the back, so I just freehand sprayed it. I was using my Mobius 0.3, so it's got a really good control. It's just user skill, which is not a lot, but enough to paint it silver without having to mask it off. I just need to touch up around the fans, but again, a bit of this thin for water, nice and loose, thin, not a problem at all. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go off, I'm going to get some decals down, and then we'll start getting this put together. Right then, here we are, the chassis running gear assembled. Yes, I have got a little bit ahead of myself by getting the truck bed on and the interior in, but I had to do the obligatory mock-up. So I will be honest, I was really surprised at how nice this has gone together. Now, a lot of you that have been following me for a while, you'll know that I do like to moan about how bad I am at assembly. That just needs fixing down, so ignore that. So there was a few bits that was a bit fiddly for me, but I think that was down more to my fault. So if I can get my little pointy stick, just reach out and get that. So the discs, if you can see, okay. So the discs, the hub on the back of the disc. So you see this bit of steering rack. That peg there should go into that. Oh, same again that side. But unfortunately, as I've glued the calipers on, I've glued them twisted too far back, unfortunately. Only by a couple of millimetres, but that's enough to sink out the steering rack and just knock it out. But I've managed to glue it at an angle, and it kind of looks alright. So yeah, a little bit. That was one. What was the other bit? That was a bit fiddly. The rear diff. Bit fiddly. Not like Cobra fiddly, but it was a little bit fiddly. And I don't know why, but this sort of support, brace thing here is kind of bent. I don't know. But so let's go with the engine. So the block and all the covers went on. All the manifolds, covers, the air filter, all went on. Do you know what? Not a problem at all. You got the pulleys and the stuff, and you got the radiator, the pipe went in, absolute doddle. Honestly, really surprised at how nice this has gone together. Again, it's, I've had a few issues with some trickier, Revell kits. Honestly, this is a really good kit, and it's that good. I'd probably build it again, absolutely, and I'd go and try and do it better. A few of the issues I have had, mainly been with the decals. For example, with this, obviously the ripping and tearing, and I've had to try and patch it up. What else? Now this is for the next video, but I'll briefly show you this quickly, because but the Foose, that Foose decal for the number plate, that's ripped. I don't know, are they just too thin? I'm doing nothing different to normal. But anyway, back to this in, and again, super nice to put together. The wheels, it's just one solid axle. Now they don't turn, but they do spin. Same again on the back. So we've got a rolling chassis. Really, really nice. But it's not like loose, where if you tip it up it's going to go sliding. It's quite stiff to a degree. Did the whole sanding of the tyres with some sandy sticks. Now the base of the interior tub, I didn't realise until after I'd assembled it, I'd left it in the bare white plastic. So I've just quickly chucked on a quick coat of Citadel black, which is A, why it looks rough, and B, why it's still a bit wet, because I put it on about 5 minutes ago. But it's better to have that instead of a bright white bit of plastic shining through. Disappointing, the exhaust tips. But you can't really see it. Now, if I was doing a non-box standard build, I'd change them. I'd probably try and find some pipes that would come out the sides, or out the back, or straight out the back. I would do something. Happy with the clear green over the air filter, the engine block on the calipers. It's kind of tied it in with the dash a little bit, although the dash is quite dark and quite flat now compared to the shiny bits. But seriously, it's such a nice kit. Again, really, like the suspension arms, they went on really easily. Once you've got all the chassis built up and the wheels on and stuff, you actually have the part of the flatbed with the steps and the actual bed. They go onto the chassis, and you can see there, look, the 4 pinholes with the pins coming through, straight onto there, a bit of super glue, pushed it down, done. Like I say, I just need to secure that bit down, just to, because it's a bit loose at the minute, but that's just because I haven't glued anything at the back there. Obviously, as you can tell, the interior's glued in, and that just sits into some little grooves on either side. Again, yeah, I haven't even finished it yet, and I would already say I'd build it again. It's just so nice to work on a nice kit, and to be honest, for the quality and the fitment, I'd put it right up there, you know, with some really nice Tamiya kits, really nice Aoshima kits. Yeah, this kit from Revell, yeah, personally, I think they've, you know, absolutely nailed it. I haven't done many Revell kits, but this has been the best one I've worked on. And there's, you know, a few parts, but yeah, it's looking all right. Happy with how it's going. So anyway, that's enough for this chassis video. We're going to shoot off, and we're going to get the final assembly video put together. At the minute, we've currently got the windows in situ. It's just been glued in with some of that, so I'm just waiting for them to dry before I can put the body on, and then we'll go from there. So yeah, thank you for watching this video in the series of the Foose truck build of the chassis work. We'll catch you on the next one, which, like I said, will be the final assembly. And literally, all that's left: bonnet, back bumper, front bumper, headlight bar, and the body. That's all that's left to go. So I will be putting it together on video. I'll actually get some action shot. It's that nice of a kit. I'm happy to try and put it together on video. I'm feeling, you know, there's only 5 parts to put on. The interior tub goes on, the bonnet goes on, the headlights go in, and the bumpers go on. What more can go wrong? So yeah, keep an eye out for the next video where we get it all put together. And then again, we'll see you on the next one. So take care of yourselves. All the best. Thanks.